Habaim, Moshe Langado speaking under the auspices of Kollel Avat Israel in San Diego, California, Sha'rei Tziyon here in Brooklyn, New York. This week, Parshat Shira. The Parsha is B'Shalach, and we read Az Yashir. Bnei Israel finally leave Egypt after 210 years, and now traversing the desert to go to the Promised Land. They've hit a dead end. In front of them, the sea. Behind them, the cavalry of the Egyptians, ready to murder them. What are they to do? The sea opens up. But our sages have told us that the pasuk says, "V'hamayim lahem choma liyaminam usmolam," and the water stood as walls on their left and on their right. The interesting thing is our sages notice that choma, walls, is not spelt in the normal way. Normally it's spelt chet vav mem he. Here the vav is missing, and it could be read as chema, their anger. What anger was here? The anger of the angels up high. The angels up high came in front of God and said, God Almighty, these have served idols, and these have served idols. The Egyptians are idol worshippers, but the Jews also have sunken to that level in Egypt. Why do these deserve a miracle and these not? Such was the question of the angels. Leave that question to the side for us. But the Meshech Chochmah, one of the great Jewish thinkers, Rav Meir Simcha HaKohen, asked another question. Why did the angels all of a sudden wake up now? Where were they when Egypt was being plagued by blood, by frogs, by lice, by vermin? Why do they all of a sudden raise their voice in righteous indignation at this point? Such asks Rav Meir Simcha HaKohen. And he gives us a very powerful answer. First, let us bring two examples to solidify his answer. First, King David would go to war. When King David was king of Israel, Israel was a pristine, almost perfect nation. Our relationship to God was excellent. But sometimes we didn't fare so well in battle. When later on in history, there was a man named Achav, and when he ruled, there was tremendous, tremendous evil through the land. There was avodah zarah, idol worship. There was gilui arayot, incest, not proper behavior. There was shfichut damim. And when they went to war, everything went well. How come? Another problem. When the first Beit HaMikdash stood, the nation had fell into avodah zarah, into gilui arayot, and we were punished by exile and destruction of the temple. But that was only for 70 years. During the second Beit HaMikdash, times were good. We had a great relationship with God Almighty. But when the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed because of sinat chinam, because we did not have a great relationship with other Jews, we suffer till this very day. God Almighty could forgive and forget averot which are between man and God. But when it becomes averot between man and man, that is very difficult to be forgiven by God Almighty. When it came to David HaMelech, yes, the relationship between God and Bnei Israel was excellent. But there were some cracks in the unity of the people. Therefore, they weren't so successful in war as the later king Achav. Achav, on the other hand, was horrid. His administration and the people had fallen to the depth of depravity. But they were all together. They were all united. Kol Yisrael Arevim Zel Hazeh. Therefore, they had the blessing of victory. In the time of the first Beit HaMikdash, yes, horrible sins between man and God were being performed. But they were united as a nation. In the time of the second Beit HaMikdash, that unity was far from true. They fought within themselves. And Josephus brings down stories how one group of people would fight against another group of people, and arrows were flying in the Beit HaMikdash between two factions of Jews. Therefore, that problem still hasn't been rectified. When Bnei Israel, let us go back to the question of the Meshech Chochmah, why did the angels all of a sudden feel that they had to protect the Egyptians at the sea, but not in Egypt? And the answer is very clear, that when the Jews were in Egypt, there was a feeling, one for all, and all for one. There was an arevut, which is very powerful. And therefore the angels saw that all the miracles should not at all touch the Jews, for they were one. They were one with all their brethren. When it came to the Yam Suf, the Midrash tells us, all of a sudden that unity broke. And some said, let us go back to Egypt. They cried, enough, Moshe. Let us go back to the servitude. Others said, no, let us jump into the sea. And there were different factions, each one trying to get the upper hand. Now the angel said, there is not that unity anymore. There's not that arevut anymore. Now they are no different than the Egyptians. These served idols and these served idols. What is the difference? My friends, what a powerful lesson. Am Yisrael has to know that their only salvation is by having Ahavat Yisrael, having Arevut, having a Jew love his fellow Jew. And when that transpires, we will happily march with Mashiach Tzidkenu. Shabbat Shalom.